broadcasting legend in his own mind. He's known to be prickly and very opinionated. It's time to get in the huddle with your host, Coach Muddle.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the huddle. Tonight, it's Nevada Nick and myself. How you doing, Nick?
Doing well, Coach. Doing well. You know, big Dodgers win yesterday. As they're my, I put some nice action on them to win it all. So back alive a little bit and praying Kershaw steps up tonight and gets the job done and evens the series at 2-2 and makes it a series again.
Right.
And Astros right now, it was 1-0. Tampa Bay just tied it up as Astros are playing for their life, obviously. If they lose, they're done. And look, if you make it 3-2, I mean, I would still lean Tampa Bay, but you never know. You know, it's still a series. You know, obviously they win 3-2. Now it's a lot more feasible than before. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now you yell at me for eating. Well, what are you eating there, Coach?
Yeah, now I'm eating. I took a nap and I woke up late and I'm starving.
Yeah.
I didn't eat lunch today, so
What's up, Vicky?
I'm gonna move it out of my way so it's
Vicky
not.
said she can't hear, Coach.
She can't hear.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't know if maybe there's something
I
wrong
hear
with the
you
volume.
too. I don't know. I got the volume up.
Yeah.
I mean, I hear
And
you.
I know Vicky had put something up. She wasn't very specific, but send the prayers her way. So Vicky, me and the coach send prayers your way. Whatever
We will do.
going through right now. You know, you ever need anything, me and the coach are here for you.
Absolutely. So,
What's up, Stiz?
what's up, Stiz?
Stiz getting ready for Sunday, brother?
Yeah, getting ready for Sunday. Sunday fun day as we get ready to go into week 6. A lot of big action. No Thursday night game tonight.
And it's a shame, too, because it was going to be a good one. You know, we had a decent one last week, Bucks Bears. And Stiz, real quick, can you hear us? Because Vicky said not a very good lip reader. I'm wondering if Vicky maybe doesn't have her volume up. Stiz, can you hear us, buddy? Yeah, he said you know it, so he's got to hear us.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah. Type into Vicky, turn up the volume on your thing. It must be the volume on. Oh, there we go.
All right, perfect. Good
there
job.
You go, Vicky.
There you go.
Must have been on your end. Vicky, we were saying, too, I heard you put something up on Facebook that, you weren't specific, but to send the prayers your way. And obviously, like I said, me and Coach will be sending prayers your way.
And do that.
Yeah, me and the coach are here for you. So,
Absolutely.
Okay, but yeah, it's disappointing. I mean, it would have been nice to see Chiefs Bills. Look, I think it'll be a good game Sunday. You got two teams coming off bad losses. You know, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, I told you the Bills were pretenders." I don't buy that into that too much. I think, as we said last night, Coach, some teams have bad games.
Right.
I mean, you have 3 turnovers. It's not going to be pretty. And sometimes, too, when a game gets out of your grasp, not that teams quit, but you just, you know what I mean? It's tough. You start, you're running a hamster wheel a little bit and things just don't go your way. Yeah, Coach upgraded the internet, so sound quality is at its best. He did. Coach is looking good. But, no, that is one of the games this weekend, Chiefs Bills, that I'm looking forward to. And I'm going to have some big picks on Sunday. One of them is your Giants game, Coach. Yeah. Then I'll also have a pick in the Texans-Titans game. Really looking at that one, too, as well. And like I said, in regards to the Chiefs and Bills, I mean, you got to kind of – I mean, look, they're kind of both – neither of them wants to go on that 2-game losing streak.
Right.
Both of them are hoping, huge thing this year with only one number 1 seed getting that bye.
Right.
They're kind of now, but I think – the only undefeated team in the AFC, though, there's 2, Steelers and Titans. I don't think it's going to end with either of them being the bye. I really think it'll be Chiefs or Ravens or maybe Bills. But, I mean, look, don't get me wrong. Titans look really good. But, the Steelers, Ravens, that division's going to beat up on each other, man.
Right.
With the Browns, you got a lot of good teams.
That's a big game, I think. It's the first time in a long time. I think that Browns, Steelers has not really been a rivalry in quite some time, and
Right.
now you have a 4-1 Browns and a what is it, 5-0 or 4-0 Steelers
Right.
playing. It's going to be pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, and Vicky said she's having surgery, so best of luck with that, Vicky. Because I know how that's. I had foot surgery a couple of times, so I know it's what that's like. It's never. I remember my poor mother, who we talked about a couple of weeks ago, and literally I was having like outpatient surgery in the morning, and my mom, I got in the car and she was crying, saying, "Oh, I was so worried. Thank God everything's over." I was like, "It was an hour surgery, like." You pick me up 20 minutes later, but surgery, and if you're getting put under, what I mean, anesthesia, anything like that, it's always worrisome. So good luck, Vicky.
Absolutely. So yeah, we got big, and now, we touched on this yesterday. You have some big college games, and they got things. I also heard the Falcons had to shut down their facility. They had a couple of positive cases.
I didn't hear that. Now, the one thing you were right, and I do got to say, you said it last night, and I thought they'd find a way to get them somewhere, even though, I agree it's probably risky. It looks like Saban's not going to coach Saturday. They kind of said that. And it's amazing because the point spread swung 2.5 points. Shows you how important he is. Right. And having a guy like that on the sidelines, just for, coach, adjustments and everything with his eyes. I mean, you can't put a value on something like that, Coach.
For what he sees and how he sees it, totally different. And plus you got to come over to the sideline, and he's staring down at you. Is a big deal. I mean, how that is. You come off on the sideline, and that coach. That's Nick Saban. You don't want to.
Yeah, and Coach, how it is too. I think sometimes, a lot of times, you have a little bit more of a relationship with your position coach, so you'll feel a little bit more comfortable with them. And the head coach is usually the guy who's dropping the hammer. You know what I mean? Especially when it's a guy like Nick Saban. So yeah, you definitely lose that presence. I mean, Steve Sarkisian supposedly is going to be the coach, but he's not putting the fear of God in you like Nick Saban is. And you see Nick. Nick Saban can be up 42-0, and you're at the end of the game, and the kicker messes up, and he'll be flipping out, throwing things. I mean, Saban's a perfectionist, and you see it with Belichick, because everything with them is a teaching moment. You know what I mean? It's like they're big nuts on situational football, and that's why the one is the best in the NFL, and the other one's the best in college.
Right. And I think Tom Brady's realizing that. Big difference in Tampa, where you have a coach that doesn't. I don't know if you want to say that he's such an attention to detail like Belichick is, and it's a big difference. And you saw that kind of cost him a game last week. So, and
Stiz said no players for Atlanta, just coaching staff.
Yeah, right.
And Vicky, the not being able to eat after midnight is the worst. I know of my surgery the one time, it was like an emergency type thing. So I got put on the day. I couldn't eat. Here I am at 4:30 in the afternoon. I still hadn't eaten. And I'm like sitting there looking at the nurse like, I got to fucking eat. Like, you know what I mean? Look at me. This body, this takes hard work here. Like, I was like, come on, get this guy in me. And I'm like, when I'm rolling my big ass out, you better have like 3 dinners ready for my ass because I'm going to be coming out hungry. You know what I mean?
So, yeah, I know exactly. So, but I tell you what, but yeah, Nick's not going to be there, but I guarantee he's going to have a line set up from his house to, and by the way, he is asymptomatic, by the way.
Yeah, he did say that. It's just, Coach, there's so much he's going to be able to see watching the game, like, on TV. I don't know if maybe he's going to have a special camera or something.
Well,
who knows? He might have the coach tape, You
got to remember that he might be able to, I'm sure with the technology, hook into the film that they get.
Like that they're watching on the sidelines and going through a good point.
He's probably got that feed, so he's going to be able to look at it a lot differently and whatnot. So,
they already said he's Zooming with everybody and still
Right.
coaching through Zoom. What I'd like to know, because I don't know the answer to this, Coach. Obviously, I know he doesn't call the plays offensively. I do think he'll say, let's run the ball here. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. But I don't know, does he call the plays defensively? Or, I mean,
No,
obviously, I know he has huge input on the game plan, but I don't know if he calls the plays defensively or not.
no, he does not call the plays defensively. He does not.
Yeah. Yeah, Vicky,
No.
Cap's just not here. He didn't.
Yeah, he had a
Yeah,
prior
people after
obligation.
yesterday.
It was not because of yesterday. It was not. It
Yeah.
was a prior obligation that he
Right.
had. So,
obviously, me and Captain went at it Monday, and then Coach and Captain last night. But it has nothing to do with that. It is a prior engagement.
right, prior engagement. So, but getting back, with Nick, he doesn't call the plays, and actually, he's kind of. Now I don't know if there's an actual DBs coach because I know he was coaching the DBs, and it was basically a GA kind of handled everything for him, obviously, and so I'm sure there's more of a DB guy there now. So
right,
but we'll see how that goes and how they answer. I mean, when was the last time Alabama, on the brink of a loss and then have this big game come up, and it's really going to see because that Georgia defense looked good last week. I know it was Tennessee, but Tennessee was a top 15 team coming in. So
right. Well, it's going to be a great game. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, regardless of Saban, it's two big SEC schools, and Kirby Smart really has that team playing, the right way. They look good, so it'll be a fun game to watch on Saturday. And real quick too, Le'Veon Bell. So, Coach, I got to give it to you. I had my teams that I said, San Francisco. I'm drawing a blank now, but I had San Francisco and a couple
Arizona.
Arizona was one of them, and then there was another one too that I thought he could fit. But now it's come down to 3 teams supposedly. There's rumors he was in Buffalo, but Buffalo's on the list. I believe it's Buffalo, the Chiefs, and there was one other team, and I'm drawing a blank on it for some reason. But that's the list. Oh, and the Niners I said too. So right, yeah, it was Niners, Arizona, and somebody else. But yeah, they say Buffalo is high on the Le'Veon Bell list. And look, I think it would make sense. In regards to the Chiefs, I mean, he can catch the ball out of the backfield, and he loves running the screens. I don't know that maybe they don't like Clyde Edwards-Helaire. They haven't really given him an opportunity yet this year running the ball. They've kind of had a weird start to the season. We'll see where he lands. But if I was him, I would lean, like I said, going into a good situation because going to the Jets should teach him a lesson. You know what I mean?
You know what? Look, Brian, he's not going to the Giants because the Giants ain't paying his ass. Because the Jets are picking up this year. You still have to pay him next year. I mean, I think you can cut him because I think all his guaranteed money is paid by the Jets. So I mean,
it's the Dolphins, Coach. Sorry, so it's Chiefs, Bills, and Dolphins. Which, I mean, okay. I mean, the Dolphins are an up and coming team. You know what I mean? But like I said, if I was him, I think there isn't a better situation than San Francisco. I mean, I know there's some injuries there, but once they get healthy, they got a good offensive line. Shanahan runs the ball, and he's looking to revitalize his career. So I think for him, that might be the best situation. Now, Chiefs would make sense too. Bills, but Dolphins would kind of surprise me just because, look, they do look good. I don't think they're a 2-3 team. I think they're a good team. I don't think they'll quite squeak into the playoffs this year. I do think they're on the rise. But if I was him, I'd want to go to, a team with a really good offensive line and a supporting cast where I'd have a shot at making the playoffs this year.
I think the Bills are, they're obviously 4-1, and that's a good spot there. I just think, Singletary is not a workhorse up there. He's a complimentary back, and they still have to find a complement to him. And maybe Bell is that guy. I don't know because you haven't seen Bell play in 3 years. I mean, So it's really a question of that. But the Bills, and plus to go ahead and stick it to the Jets, I mean, that would just be me personally to stick it to them as
Right.
as I could, because they're just a dysfunctional organization and they deserve it.
Yeah, that's one of the bets on my gambling site is you got to bet 145 to win 100 back, but that Gase is the next coach fired. And I think that's a hell of a bet if you have your sports book taking it, because who else could it be, really? You know what I mean? I think Gase is the next to go. And honestly, me and Coach, we said he should have been fired last December,
Right.
and he's a lame duck coach now. Everybody knows he's gone. I know the Giants.
I know Joe Douglas is your friend, and that's why they hired him, was because of you, is what the report was. They were hiring someone who was friends with Gase.
Right.
But at some point, I think Joe Douglas knows how to separate the two. And, hey, it's just business. Nothing personal. It's business,
Right.
So.
Yeah, and I was going to go to that too. We had talked about this. This is what they had said, Coach. Tyronn Lue did sign with the Clippers today, 5-year deal. We'd expected that. That was rumored to be for a while. But that's interesting, Stiz, because Chauncey Billups was on ESPN, and I don't believe he had coached anywhere yet. So that's interesting. The good point guard from the champion Piston teams,
right,
with Larry Brown and Sheed and Ben Wallace and Rip Hamilton and that crew, who beat those Lakers. That was called the super team. They were like the first super team, if you remember. Karl Malone, Gary Payton, Shaq.
Yep.
Yeah, and they kind of let down, and Pistons had that year. But I like that, Stiz. I think Chauncey Billups is, as we say, a lot of point guards end up being good coaches. He was a point guard. Gonna get a good, good situation there with Ty Lue as an assistant. And it's just kind of weird to me with the Clippers. You want change, and I know it's a change maybe, but still, Ty Lue and Doc. Ty Lue already had a handprint on that team. You know what I mean?
Right.
There was a reason Doc had him as an assistant. So to me, how much are you really changing? And kind of surprising.
They just needed a different voice.
No, you could be right.
They might not want to change too much.
Right.
But why do you wait that long? Why is it that you're waiting so long to do that? So.
And the other news in the NBA, Daryl Morey has left the Houston Rockets. I don't know if you know that.
Now I heard the Knicks are pursuing Westbrook.
Really?
That was the talk today.
Well, I think with Houston too, they may blow it up just because you're older now. That system fit D'Antonio. I mean, what do you do? You know what I mean? Like, do you really think with the West now you're going to have that Warriors team coach? The Clippers are going to have another year together. Right. You got the Lakers. Don't you think you probably blow that Rockets team up?
Yeah, I think you're right. And what about Harden? You leave Harden? I mean,
no, I think that's what I'm saying. So Harden would be out there, and I would trade him to, whoever, where you can get some compensation and some picks or whatever it may be. I mean, I'm not a big James Harden guy. I mean, I think he fit well in Philly just as a shooter, but that's all he does is shoot. He doesn't play defense. Right. He doesn't get a ton of free throws and attack the basket. Those are the players I want. Like Jimmy Butler. Give me a guy who's got a mid-range jumper and attacks the basket, like a Jimmy Butler, LeBron, whoever, than a guy who's just going to sit back and shoot threes. I mean, I'll take that every day of the week because it, man. A lot of times you get the calls in the NBA, and free throws are important, man. The free throws are very, very important. And you see a lot of these superstars, too, that get calls. The East is a possibility, Stiz. I mean, because out West, a lot of those teams, I just don't know who would have the compensation, unless it's like a team like New Orleans who try to, pair them up with Zion or something and give up some of those young guys they have, like Ingram, Lonzo Ball. Maybe they give a couple of those guys up and some picks. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'm going to throw the Knicks out there, who they have, revamped their front office. and with the new coach trying to make a splash and use him more as a recruiting tool to bring some guys in? I mean, I could see them sending some, because you do have, the other Duke kid who I wasn't as high on there with the Knicks. Can't think of his name right off the top of my head, but
RJ Barrett.
RJ Barrett. You pair him with RJ. You have some other talent around there, and you got some guys that you could dump off. I don't know. But does he want to, like, who wants to go to the Knicks? That's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, as long as Dolan's there, it's a problem, Coach. I mean, like LeBron said, supposedly when LeBron went to the Heat, the Knicks is where he wanted to go.
Right.
And supposedly Dolan had, like, no plan, and he was just completely not interested. And LeBron saying was just like, I couldn't believe that, you got LeBron taking the first meeting with you and you weren't prepared. And, then you have all the stuff with Oakley, which, come on, NBA players, that's a brotherhood.
And,
it doesn't look good.
And also, with Spike Lee. I mean, the guy spends, over $250,000 a year to sit courtside and you're just being a jerk. And, but at the same time, I can't figure out why is hockey run so much differently. I mean, he owns the Rangers, and it's like night and day, and I just don't understand, why it's so different. But
right now, I mean, I agree. I mean,
the Rangers are pretty competitive. I mean, the Rangers are there. I mean, couple of down years last couple, but before that, I mean, they did make it to a finals a couple years ago.
Right.
So,
but hockey and basketball are different. And the Knicks, I mean, Coach, it's been pretty much 2 decades now. Put me in, Coach, when captain's going. But no, I mean, Knicks have been irrelevant for 2 decades now.
Right.
I mean, really. I mean, absolutely. I know they had a playoff run with Mike Woodson, but they made that finals run with Jeff Van Gundy in '99. When they were the 8th seed, and really since then they've been a shit show, and it's a shame because they're one of those teams. When New York Knicks basketball is good, it's good for the NBA. It really is. It's good for the NBA. What's up, Jason?
What's up, Good night, Peep Eater. Thanks for stopping in, buddy.
Night, Tommy.
Jason Dean be huge in New York with a few pieces. Yeah, but
no, I agree.
I mean, but here's the problem. He's the owner. It's not a coach. It's just like any other. Just like in Washington, he's the owner. It's not. You're not getting rid of him. I mean, it's just impossible. So it's suck it up. Do you want to go there? And New York used to be the mecca for basketball, and do you want to go there and make it that mecca again and build it and be that guy? LeBron did, and. Is there, the Knicks dropped the ball? Probably, but
and Knicks, they've missed out on Durant too. They screwed that up. And now too, let's not forget you got Durant and Irving playing now in Brooklyn. Right. And they're trying to steal the thunder from New York. So New York needs to do something. I mean, Porzingis, that failed, that whole situation.
No, that was good. That was good. I mean, Porzingis had issues. His brother was his agent, and his brother was kind of really being a pain in the ass. So I think they shipped him out. They got some picks for him. What they did with those picks.
Don't you understand why Porzingis had a problem with the organization? I mean, wouldn't you?
I agree with that, but also the league's not full. It's not a 7-foot league anymore. It's not. Yeah. He wasn't.
He can stretch, Coach. That's the difference, though. He can stretch. He can play
outside. But he hasn't played a full season ever in the NBA.
No, you're right. You're right, and he was hurt in some major games for the Mavericks.
Right.
Who that's going to be the one kid, man. And once again, who everybody missed on. I mean, Luka Doncic, in my opinion, is the future of the NBA. I mean, Luka Doncic, you're going to see. I mean, he is going to be just. You saw him early this year in the playoffs. I mean, it was just, he's the future. I mean, he's going to be fun to watch. And we're kind of getting near to the end of the run for LeBron and a lot of these guys. I know Giannis is still young, but interesting to see what happens with him too. I'm real curious to see what happens with him if he ends up going back to Milwaukee or he leaves and Anthony Davis is actually a free agent. Although I would think AD would re-sign with the Lakers, I would think. And Angela thinks Luka's good looking, so
there you go.
Yep. Right. I mean, I wish I was that kid. You look good. You're a star in the NBA. I mean, I'm sure he's having a good time.
Absolutely. So
Mark Cuban said he would divorce his wife before he trades Luka, and I agree with him. I would be the same way, and I agree, Stiz. I think he is too. I mean, people don't realize. I think he's only like 21 years old too, and he was just so good early. They really gave the Clippers a run in the first round. I mean, he was dominant, and that was without Porzingis too for a couple of games. So it's going to be fun to watch him. I mean, we may see him win an MVP as early as next year.
Okay. All right. So now back to some relevant sports that we went off on this basketball tangent. So Gase on the hot seat, and of course, and I think the Giants really, this is their window here this week to get a win and get going, because I really think that he has regressed, and maybe it's because they didn't have a preseason, they didn't have any camps. Really, really hurt the kid because, he put up a lot really good numbers the last 12 games of the season last year.
He did.
He was the number 2 fantasy quarterback in points behind Mahomes.
Yeah, remember that blind study I put up in the thing? And no, he played well, and that's going to be the thing. And that's why I don't like when you don't have you have an organization where the GM and the coach don't necessarily line up. You know what I mean? And now you're going to have that problem because I would assume, you try to bring a guy in if Gettleman does get fired that is in concert with Joe Judge, and then that's going to be your decision. Is Daniel Jones the guy? And I mean, I think it's tough. And
but also could Judge be one and done? Because
I don't think so. Because I think they've been competitive. I think there's things to like. I think it's the team, Coach. I mean, what's he playing with? You got to look at the situation. Daniel Jones, I think he has some weapons. I was wrong. I didn't think they had any receivers. He got, I don't like Golden Tate, but Slayton's good.
Right. Slayton's the only bright spot
right
out of this young crew that I see because, Evan Ingram can't catch a cold buck naked. He was supposed to be, right. He was a number 1 pick.
Right.
We got, why can't I think of his name now? The kid who's always hurt. He can't stay healthy in the slot.
Right. Sterling Shepard.
Sterling Shepard, thank you. Can't stay healthy. And then, we have an ancient Golden Tate, but I think Slayton's there. And I think because you're hurt, you're going to see the injuries. You're going to see more Golden Tate right now. So,
and the line is inconsistent, which is huge for the offense. So, it's not easy for Daniel Jones. The
offensive line is
right.
Terrific.
Right. And Brian Buella said about Washington, I don't believe so. I think he's pissed. I think he thinks it's unfair. He got benched. I think he probably thinks thinks he's better than Kyle Allen, and I'm sure he's not happy. And Ron Rivera has basically said he wasn't his guy. So right. I think Dwayne Haskins, I think he's gone. I think he's going to leave. I'm not big on him. I mean, maybe in the right situation. He reminds me of a poor man's Byron Leftwich. He really does. Decent arm, can't move around in the pocket, but Leftwich could make more plays and won some games. Which I know it's a little unfair because Leftwich had more talent around them, but it's a tough league, man. You don't get long periods of time to get it done, and then you don't get it done, you're shipped out or cut, whatever. It's just how it is. And I agree. Yeah. I think he will be a backup.
He will be a career backup, and I could see him going, and maybe they take a chance with him in San Francisco because Jimmy G's on the ropes there.
Yeah,
he's on the ropes. This year we could see a lot of quarterbacks out there. More than that we've seen in a while. So it's and you're going to get good you're going to get a bunch of first round quarterbacks. I believe Matt Ryan's going to be out there because I think they just blow that up.
Yeah,
you're going to be able to get Darnold. Daniel Jones might be there. Trubisky, Jimmy G,
Josh Rosen.
I know. I think he stays in Tampa. I think they stick with him there.
How about Jameis Winston?
What?
Jameis Winston.
Well, I don't know. Did he sign a 1 or 2 year deal?
I think it was just a 1 year deal.
Then Jameis Winston might be there. Cam is a 1 year deal. So, and you're going to, teams need quarterbacks. New Orleans, Minnesota, Indianapolis, New England. There's 4 teams that are quarterback teams that need some quarterbacks, that have aging quarterbacks and need something in there. So,
and if you're like a San Francisco, because I think 2 of the best situations where if you get a quarterback in Indianapolis and San Francisco, if you get, I know Jimmy G, but that Niners team made that Super Bowl almost not in spite, but look at the 2 games in the playoffs. It was all running the football and playing defense. And then if Coach will tell you on the day before the Super Bowl, I said it was going to come down to Jimmy G having to make a play, and he wasn't going to be able to do it. And that is exactly what happened. Exactly what happened. I said, the Chiefs are always going to be in it, and is Jimmy G going to be able to make a play in a big game? And he couldn't. Yeah, and no, you're right, Stiz. Ertz has been a major disappointment, but I think that's because he's all they got right now, and these defensive coordinators are saying, all right, take Ertz out of the game. That's Carson Wentz's, security blanket. Who else do they got? And we see that. I'm even forgetting his name now. The guy who had a huge game last week. Stiz, help me out, brother. The kid who had like 100 and some yards. Fulgham or whatever his name. Because I was saying like they had that song. What's that? Something style. Gangnam Style. I was thinking Fulgham style. So I think it's Travis Fulgham for the Eagles. Yeah. So we'll see. And Ertz, I think it also plays Ertz isn't happy. He wanted a contract and didn't get it.
Now let me ask you: Does Ertz hit the market?
Well, they got him under control for 1 more year, but I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if you see him traded. The Eagles have a lot of cap issues. They have so many holes with a guy like Goddard already there. Right. They may say, hey, look, we'll draft a tight end in the 2nd or 3rd round, trade Ertz for some compensation, clear up some cap room, and go in a different direction. And look, that wouldn't bother me. I love Ertz. I do. The guy helped me win a Super Bowl. I'll always love Zach Ertz, but we have so many holes on this team. And you see what some of these tight ends are starting to get, Coach. If he wants Kittle money, where you're talking, 14, 15 million a year, I'm just not paying a tight end that, Coach.
Right.
And that's possible. That's possible. The Eagles have traded with the Cardinals before. Let's not forget about shipping out Kevin Cobb.
Gronk's not really doing much. Those guys
he would fit really good there. He would fit really good there, Coach. And that might be something. I don't know when the trade deadline is, but don't be surprised if the Eagles pull the trigger on something. And if Tampa came up and said, we'll give you a 2nd round pick, the Eagles may take that. And trust me, if you don't think Tampa would be improved by getting a Zach Ertz over Gronk, you know what I mean? With Mike Evans And, it's kind of tough with Tampa because you really haven't been able to see what that offense can do yet because Godwin's been hurt and Mike Evans has been hampered by, I believe it's a hamstring.
Yeah, he's been hurt, and that's the tough part about it. We haven't been able to see that thing fly, be on all cylinders.
Right.
So and I think Fournette's nursing something as well. So
right.
So yeah, that's something to keep an eye on, and I wouldn't be surprised if the problem is the Giants. They need to build some capital because they have some holes and maybe get rid of an Evans obviously no one's going to take Golden Tate, but get rid of a couple of guys. I could see them doing that. Maybe Fleming has been their best offensive lineman. I could see them trading him and bringing the rookie Pert and putting him in, trying to get him some work there at right tackle. So we'll see.
Yeah, Jason Dean, they said I had heard the Chiefs, and then I heard it was. I think they said it was down between the Dolphins and the Chiefs. Oh, it just signed a splash across. I'll have to look on that. Jason Dean said that Bell is signing with the Chiefs. Did he? Is it official? Did he sign?
I don't know. I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, I'll look it up right now too, Coach, because I think that's a bit. I mean, look, I don't know how much he has in the tank.
It says 2 finalists.
Yeah, that's what it's saying for me.
And listen, Odell Beckham got sent home pending test results.
Yeah, did you hear what it was? Was he not feeling well, or?
Yeah, they don't know if it's that or not. So,
Jason Dean said, "Fuck him, they'll smash him too."
But yeah, it's still not. It's not saying that Bell is.
He's saying
I can see Julio Jones getting traded too. I see them blowing that up in Atlanta.
Well, they said they had talked about that. And they said they don't just because how long he's been there, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised about that either. Look, it makes sense. They got to start all over. I mean, that includes Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan's 35 or 36. He's getting older. You just gotta. Sometimes you just gotta blow it up, and that's where, like I said, I'm wondering with the Eagles, not to blow it up, but they just need to take a step back for a year and retool this team. I like Wentz. I don't think Wentz is the problem. I mean, he's got so many injuries around him. I just think we need to get a lot younger for the Eagles, and we'll see what happens. I'm not seeing anything on Shefty's Twitter. Yeah, so
it's still saying two teams.
Yeah.
So,
but still, if Andy picks him up, man, and nobody runs the screen pass, and I know that personally, nobody runs the screen pass better than Andy Reid, and it will be a tool to help. I like Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but he was ODB, had a bad case of the shits.
Down to the Chiefs and the Dolphins.
Yeah, I mean, I would go to the Chiefs. Well, why not? You know what I mean? They got a good line, a great coach who can design a great offense. I'm sure the Raiders fans here won't like that, but yeah, I mean,
let me throw this out. I got no nothing. This is just pulling out of my ass. This here, Peyton Manning, general manager, Atlanta Falcons. Because look, they fired the coach, and it's a complete rebuild there. I mean,
it's possible, and he's from down south too. He has said he wants to get back in the league and not to be a coach because he's been offered Monday Night Football and big money too, I believe.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be what opportunity presents itself. I don't think he'll go to Indy, obviously, because they already got Ryan Grigson, I believe his name is, who's pretty good. Obviously, you got Elway in Denver. So I'm trying to think where he has ties. I mean, he's a New Orleans kid. That's possible.
I think he would go. I think he would go wherever anybody who would call him for that job. I don't think he would go to the Giants just because his brother played there, but maybe, possibly I could see that happening. But, I just think that, Houston or Atlanta, because they have no coach or GM. They need both. And I think if you want to come in as a GM, you want to hire your own coach and you want to draft your own quarterback. But in Houston's case, I mean, you got a good quarterback there. You know what you got.
Right.
And it's just a matter of finding a coach that can fit that talent.
I would love to take over Houston because you got a franchise QB. I think Deshaun Watson's special. It's just
I do, but you gave up. You sent a lot of assets out.
But you gotta you gotta retool the team, Coach. Simple as that.
Yeah.
I mean, and what's it? Bill O'Brien. Yep, it just came across. He's right, Jason Dean. Signing with the Chiefs.
Okay, it didn't.
I just got it across my phone. I mean, that's a big deal for the Chiefs because now you'll have him and I mean, look, it's a win-win. What can go wrong? Look, in that locker room too, you got leaders all over the place in the Chiefs, and Andy Reid ain't gonna deal with the bullshit. He'll get rid of them. I'm sure it's on a 1-year small deal. If he causes problems, he'll be gone.
Right, and you only have to pay him the minimum because the Jets pick up the rest. So.
Yeah, and Jason Dean, I mean, I don't know if he's a cancer. I think, look, you got to understand, when you're in the NFL and you're a running back, you need to get paid when you need to get paid. Right. Because Gurley got paid, fell off a cliff. Look at Zeke now. You think the Cowboys are loving they gave him all that money? Right. And I think he wanted to get paid. Did he go about it the right way? Probably not. But I think the Steelers and Tomlin did that to themselves. Don't forget, Jason Dean, the shit they were let going on with your boy AB. I know he's not your boy for real, but Antonio Brown was getting away with a lot of bullshit in Pittsburgh. And when you see one guy getting away with bullshit, the rest of the team thinks they can do it too. So I think that was partially. Let's not forget, AB fucking taped Mike Tomlin in the locker room the one time, if you remember, Coach, in the playoffs. So he was a product of the atmosphere. That won't happen in Kansas.
No, I don't remember. Listen, Jason, I don't remember Le'Veon Bell being when he got to the Jets. He was fine. I don't remember there being any issue with him.
Yeah, and Jason Dean, I know he's not your boy. I meant Raiders AB. I know you guys all hate AB, and I don't blame you. He's a jackass.
Look, no, I'm sorry. I mean, Le'Veon Bell was fine with the Jets. It was Adam Gase who put that out there to get rid of him. I'm sorry. Adam Gase is the asshole, not Bell.
Right.
So,
yeah.
No.
And two, where they really messed up is when they shopped him last year. He was not happy. That happened when Adams too.
1 year. You weren't even a full season in your deal, and they're shopping you.
And you're shopping Jamal Adams, who's your best player too.
And then you tell the guy to his face you're not doing it, and then you go and do it.
Yeah. AB is trash. I agree with you, Angela. But I hate to say it, man. Just think if that guy could have had his shit together. Man, the Raiders with Ruggs and AB and Waller, man, they're already a good offense.
Draft Ruggs, though. I don't know that you draft Ruggs.
Yeah, you probably would have drafted Ruggs. You're right. You're right. You're right. Angela said Chiefs got scared since the Raiders beat them, so they went out and got Bell.
That just means because when they come to Vegas, they're going to score 60 points on that defense. Let me get everybody fired up now.
Oh man,
man! Don't worry, Captain will be back Monday. I'll be able to poke the bear on Monday. So
yeah, Raiders on a bye, so it's not a win or a loss. So he'll be even keel.
Right. Nothing, but he'll figure something out to bitch about.
All I pray is that because they got the Bucks after that. I do not want to see Captain coming in on Monday after losing to Tom Brady. That will not be good.
All right. So
Jason D, come on, brother. Don't go after my Eagles. I'm not giggling at your team. Your team's 3-2. But you guys have been in one playoffs in 16 years. So let's not forget that too.
Right.
I mean, my team, I'm still polishing my Lombardi trophy.
Yeah, and at least the Giants have a trophy in the last decade. Actually,
Angela,
the Giants have 2 this century. How many do you have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Angela, we did talk about Ty Lue. We did talk about Ty Lue. We'll see how it works out. I think they have problems with Paul George. Supposedly, the chemistry wasn't great, and they didn't like Paul George. So that's another situation. I'm curious to see what happens in LA. I don't know. Supposedly, he tried to stand up and say, let's get our shit together. And they were like, dude, you haven't done anything all series. So I think there's chemistry issues there. Oh, Jason Dean, you call up my birds, and they do suck. I'll be the first one to admit it to you. But, the Raiders have stunk since the last Super Bowl against the Bucs.
Yeah, when was that? What was that, 30 years ago, 20 years ago? I don't know. But anyway, I forgot what I was going to say now. Anyway, so we got a big show coming up Sunday. Don't forget to join us Sunday Fun Day. Stiz will be with us with his fantasy. Nevada Nick will have his picks. So it should be a fun.
And I'll say this too: it's been tough this year handicapping because there's so many injuries every week, and you don't know what's going on with the home field advantage. It's really hard to figure out. I have some things I really like this weekend. Nevada needs to see a couple weeks, see what's coming. And I'm like the guy, when December and January come, I get it going. You know what I mean? Just like Coach will tell you, I gave everybody the Chiefs. Sorry, Raiders fans, but I called the Chiefs in December. I said, Coach, they're playing well. Watch out. They're going to win the Super Bowl. Like I said, I'm figuring out who I like right now, but I'm going to have some good picks this week. I'm only 2 games over 500. I've been doing real well with baseball and basketball down the stretch. I'm getting into mid-season form of football. I'm going to start getting some of those 4-1 Sundays. Trust me, Nevada Nick's going to start getting on fire, hopefully. You can't spell, I'm so mad. JD clogging up that confessional box.
So, all right, everyone. I appreciate it. We're gonna cut out a little bit. I have a prior engagement in a little bit that I have to get to, so I got to cut out a little early tonight. So we're gonna cut it out early, and we'll go from there. But make sure Sunday Fun Day with Stiz and Nevada Nick and his picks. So it should be fun. We'll see everybody at 10 a.m. Sunday sharp. So everyone, thanks for hanging out. We appreciate it. Make sure you go to, if you haven't already, go like the Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you need to listen to it. Anchor, Google, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast at.
And Jason Dean, that's exactly what it is. It's a grinder date. That's what it is for Coach.
Yeah.
They say Rehoboth Beach. Rehoboth Beach is the East Coast San Francisco. So Coach is going to go have some fun at Woody's in Rehoboth Beach, and go see the guy he's got on the side.
Anyway, my bedtime's not 7:05. It's 8:05.
It's after Jeopardy.
An hour. I got to get going. So yeah. All right, everyone. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. And we will check everybody out on Sunday. Thanks.